I'm Darren.
I'm Derek, and this is the Double D Podcast. Today we have with us the commentators of Battle on the Border. Jim, Mike, welcome to the Double D Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Sure.
We are here currently at River City Wrestling 2. Sorry, River City Wrestling 2.
There you go.
And we wanted to do this quick interview to get your guys' thoughts on some of the matches. So we're going to start going down the line here. Darren, your favorite moment of the night, your favorite match, what was it? Also, by the way, speedy recovery on your arm. What did you do to your arm? Tell the people what you did to your arm.
Don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, not until tomorrow. I guess my favorite would have been TJ Fury and Ethan. That was a pretty great match. But yeah, it was definitely the TJ Fury and Ethan.
What moment? It doesn't even really have to be a match. It can just be a favorite moment.
I was mad.
You were probably just happy to that match because it was Ethan Evans who won. If it was TJ Fury, you wouldn't have liked that match so much, huh?
No,
Nothing
it's not
picture
exactly
perfect about that match. I
Oh
can
my
tell you that right now.
There we go. See, they're already rubbing it in.
I would say
Hasn't even been an hour.
I'd say Lucy B. Sweet and Bashley Bones was my favorite match.
Great match. Oh my God. Look at Carson Drake. Calling women's matches made. That sounds like something we would do.
Carson Drake,
Does not like your podcast.
No, he said our podcast sucked, which I was pretty offended. So
I
if
don't
Carson,
blame him.
if Carson
it
still,
does suck pretty bad.
I doubt. Listen, he's a big time star now.
Half of you
he's,
know.
he's a big time star now. He thinks he's a big time star now.
Right.
He's an NWA star. Congratulations on that. But here's the thing. I mean, if he still watches our podcast, listen, we had you on. It didn't suck then, apparently, when he was on. He wanted to be on it enough. He actually demanded to be on. You remember right? So I'm just saying. Anyway, sorry. Your favorite?
No, you're fine. Carson Drake, he's, he thinks he's the king shit now because he's in NWA and he's been signed. So, Carson Drake, whatever. This is Battle on the Border Wrestling. This isn't NWA.
That's right.
This isn't AEW. This isn't WWE. This is Battle on the Border.
That's right.
And we had a lot of great matches tonight. We had some technical difficulties, and
It was Carson Drake's fault.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll blame. You know what? I'll blame Carson Drake just for principles.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that a lot of these matches were awesome tonight, especially Paxton Calloway against two competitors for the World Heavyweight title. Paxton, 7 foot, 400 pounds. He had a lot to deal with Vincent Slade and his partner.
Jacob Sawyer.
Thank you, Jacob Sawyer. As I've dealt with Jacob Sawyer before and I just forgot him. Sorry, Jacob. But it was a great match.
What was their tag team name? The Horseshoe?
It was something. Yeah, something.
Horsepower.
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 Yeah, that's right. What would have been? So I know Carson said that he was going to still win the title somehow, even though he didn't win it. Do you think that at that point, Horsepower probably wouldn't have liked that? They'd have been like, "Hey, wait a minute, we did pin the champion, though. Now, how would they share a world title? Let's just be glad Paxton won. You don't have to answer any of those questions."
Yeah.
I'm sure they're upset about Carson losing over there, but
It wasn't 100% when he came back then anyways, so hopefully next time he appears, he's 100%.
Bobby Fulton doesn't
Obviously
lose.
take it with him.
Well, I also got to say Carson Drake, he'll do anything to avoid a match.
Right.
He'll do anything to avoid a match but get a title. So, Carson Drake, you're all big time now, but you're not that big time. This is BOTB.
Savion? You said big time, sorry.
Oh, my favorite moment of the night, and we'll dive into this deeper on our own little review, but for now, I'll just put it at Surge did find a partner, and they did win the tag team championships. New tag team champions, so that's really exciting. I'll leave it there, because I do want to leave a little bit for the
Where's
fans.
Nick when you need him?
Where's Nick? Yeah, where's Nick? Yeah, he would have come out from trees or something and would have reversed the decision somehow. I'm surprised he didn't drive in like Surge's partner did. All right, well, we're also not here just to talk about this show. Although it was a great show, can't wait to do it again next year. But we are here with the BOTB commentators. So I want to ask you guys, being commentators for BOTB, How did you get into that role? Because it's something that I've wanted to do as a child. I used to play video games with the commentators on mute and do my own commentating while I was playing wrestling games, baseball, football. So, how did you guys get into this stuff?
Well, I got to tell you, for me, it happened at Squared Circle Expo.
Yeah.
It was probably the second or third one because I wasn't to the last one. But I met Denham Blevins, the owner of Battle on the Border Wrestling.
Yep.
And we talked about it, and he says, well, why don't you come on and give me and show me what you got? So I said, I'm a ring announcer, but I'm not opposed to doing commentary, and that's where it pretty much got started. Me and Denham, we talked about it. I came in, I did commentary for a match at the Morrow Arts Center a couple of years ago, and Denham was happy with it, so I continue to do that. I still like to do, I would love to do Rick Tom's job, but Rick Tom's he's the GOAT, man. I will never deny Rick Toms is the greatest of all time in this area, and I will digress to him. And if he doesn't have to work, I'll do it. But until then, I'm more than happy to do commentary for Battle on the Border.
Well, I've always wanted to do something in the wrestling business, I'm a Jericho fan, but I've always wanted to do something with the mic because he influenced me, and then, I actually got thrown into this in a good way because, Jim contacted me earlier this year and asked me if I wanted to do color commentary. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give it a try. And he asked Denham if I could do it, and he said, yeah, we'll do a trial run, see how it goes. And he, I guess he liked what he heard. I've been working on it. I watch clips, I watch tapes, I watch everything just to hear the commentary, just to see what it is. But I also want to get better on the mic and everything too. So there may be other things that I do besides commentary, possibly training, possibly wrestling, reffing. Who knows?
A little too everything. Now you guys would get along. If you guys watch on the clips on Facebook, there you probably hear how Mike talks about some of these wrestlers. There's a little bit of he roots for a certain side. Maybe likes a little bit of what do I always call it? Underhanded tactics. Maybe likes a little underhanded tactics. Do you guys conspire with each other? Do you guys talk? Do you guys text each other and talk about like?
No, I just know a good wrestler when I see him.
It's like I'm doing a podcast with him. Is this what you have to deal with?
Yeah, that's what I have to deal with because, he's my yang to my yin.
Right. Same.
It's.
I'm just saying.
I'm colored commentary. We have to be neutral, but
supposed to be.
If there's certain wrestlers out there, like for instance Matthew Taylor, I will up-talk that man no matter who he's against. Even, if he's fighting Ari Alexander, if he's fighting, David Barnabas Spector or whoever, I'll up-talk both of them. But cheating, it's never cheating if you don't get caught.
Exactly. That's what I have to deal with every time. See, I don't understand how you do. Who right now is your favorites? And I guess we'll ask all of us. Your favorites in BOTB right now?
Wrestlers?
Yeah. Teams, whatever. Just who do you, every time you come to a BOTB show, you want them to be there. You love them. Do you have any?
I got three. You'll be shocked by one of them.
Okay.
Matthew Taylor is one. I can always go for the guiding light. Second one I would say would be here's the shocker, Justin Xavier.
That is a shocker.
He
hates Justin Xavier. One time, every time we talk about Justin Xavier, he cuts it off. He's like, let's just move on. This wasn't good. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's not even a... Look at him. He's an idiot. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Sorry.
I think if Justin Xavier, no offense, Justin, I know you're going to be watching this and I don't care, but if I may, maybe if you turn a little heel a little bit, you actually might get a bigger pop.
Don't do it.
I hope you
don't pull a John Cena. Don't do that crap, man. But I would go ahead.
He is kind of like BOTB's John Cena in a way. Every time he's on, fans love him. He has the old glasses. people want him. I mean, people love him. He's kind of like, in a way, kind of the face of BOTB, I'd argue. I
He
mean,
looked like a 10-year-old schoolgirl when he's throwing them glasses around.
Jesus.
I'll give him that. And then I would say the third person that I always love seeing, my girl Shauna Reed.
Yeah. Okay. That is nice.
She does wonders inside and out of that ring. No matter who she fights, who she wrestles, she beats them. And if you beat her, that's a good win for you. But you have to beat her.
That's tough. Top of the women's division. Yeah, she's going to be top of the women's division for a while. Women's division's packed and loaded right now.
She's always on top.
There you go. Your favorite?
No pun intended.
You know, I've got to say, I'm not saying it's my favorite, but I'm going to say for this, not for tonight, the match, Lucy B. Sweet, Vashley Bones, very good match.
Yeah.
There's and I was talking to Casey Clay at the time, says Casey kind of slid in and did some commentary for me later.
Okay, yeah.
But Casey is watching both these girls with a lot of interest because she's going to be competing with these two. And right now, Vashley Bones is her target.
Makes sense, right?
You know, I just talked to her about that today when we were watching the matches. She says, Vashley Bones is my next target. So here we go.
Impressive that she's a target now.
Yeah, the disrespect this guy shows
The
something.
pure confusion
That's how
that
he
she
ended up.
produced throughout the whole freaking thing.
I
That's
figured
how
if
he
I
ends
picked a target, I'd pick the champion. But if you want to go with the mid-carder, that's cool.
Hey, listen, hold on now. Listen, the thing is you got to. Casey Clay's working her way up. She knows how it works here. You can come out, you can just challenge the champion, but she wants to work her way up, prove to the fans, prove to herself that she can beat not just Shauna Reed maybe Shauna Reed had a flight or something. She wants to be able to say she's beaten everyone in the competition, everyone in the division. She is truly the best. That's what it is. See, Casey, I got
Storm
your back.
Garcon then. Storm Garcon stepped
Storm,
up and said,
that's
I want to
pretty,
fight Shauna Reed. She did.
That's true.
Avery
That's
Hertz is another guy that I would pay money to see.
true. Yeah, I do like Avery Hertz. All right, we got to get going here. We're getting close to the end of the night. Well, the end of the night, too. But I mean, we're getting close. I was gonna say we're getting close. We got to get these guys home. So, all I want to ask you guys, last question is, how did you guys get into professional wrestling as a fan? That's what I want to know.
Well, as a fan, you want me to date myself that much?
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. When I was 12 years old, now, bear in mind, I would tell you guys right now, I am 59 years old. Okay. When I was 12 years old, my cousins loved wrestling. I thought wrestling was like boxing, so I found it very boring.
Okay, wow. All right.
However, I sat down with my cousins and watched wrestling show, and I was hooked at 12 years old.
Yeah.
It started there.
Okay.
And it's like, I watched wrestling every weekend, at least 3 times. I had 3 different shows. You know, I grew up in Florida, so I saw WCW, I saw Florida Championship Wrestling, I saw Georgia Championship Wrestling. I didn't watch WWE that much because I was in the South.
Right.
But I loved wrestling. Ric Flair is the GOAT.
Yep.
Absolutely. Love him or hate him, Ric Flair is the GOAT.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You know, and I have loved wrestling ever since. I wanted to wrestle, but I got older and it never happened. So here I am doing the next best thing. I'm doing commentary, sometimes ring announcing. I am absolutely thrilled to be in this wrestling business, doing what I can do for the show.
Hey, that's how I feel. I mean, I think me and him came into this kind of not knowing what was going to happen. We did the sound one time when they needed sound filled in, and now look at us. I feel like we're moving. You know, we're doing as much as we possibly can. I even had to fill in for Rick Toms one time today. That was terrifying. I don't know how you guys do it. Getting in the ring, or no, I didn't get in the ring, but I did have to say who won. That's terrifying. It's a little nerve-wracking.
I was trying to go find somebody to stutter as fast as you.
Well,
go.
you
We
could
did a
have
stuttering contest.
You could have handed me the microphone. I'd have taken
Pulled a
care
gold
of it.
dust, didn't
Sound
he?
like you were about to crap your pants.
Hey, well, it was a little. I almost forgot a name. No. All right. Let's move on. Man.
All you do is hook me up with a mic.
Right. Hey, I should
Fucking
have
better off.
Dude, I said the name.
He said hook him up with a mic. That's why he hooked me up, because my name's Mike, and that's why I'm his partner.
There you go. See, there you go.
Wrestling. Oh man. I will say I got into wrestling because of one man, and he is the true best in the world. He is not no CM Punk. He is not no MJF. He's not no Will Ospreay. It's Chris Jericho. He is the Ayatollah rock and roll. I watched him since I was younger. You know, he started in 1990, and I started watching wrestling in like 95, 96.
Right.
So back when he was ECW era. So it's like, you know, and, you know, I went to a match at, oh my God, what is it called? The Gardens. Madison, not Madison Square Garden. Cincinnati Gardens, which is no longer there.
Yeah.
Went there with my grandpa, and, you know, it was just a memory, and that one memory stayed with me. And it was funny because the first person that came out was Chris Jericho, and it's like, I like him.
Right,
and I was a kid, and now I'm 35 years old, and I still squeal when I see Jericho. So it's like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
So,
hey,
but his time is coming
well,
short.
Yeah, you were the first member under the learning tree. That's his new thing now. Now he has the learning tree. You were like the first one to I mean, how many like hardcore Jericho fans were there in ECW? You know, in that era, you were maybe one of the first super hardcore Jericho. I'm sure there were some. I'm probably underselling it a little.
I mean, he was a face at the time,
right.
but it's like, you know, I mean, I don't remember correctly. He won. I don't remember who it was against, and you know, I would have loved to see him as Lionheart, like back then, not now.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'd still like to see it and be like, hey, I saw Lionheart Chris Jericho, even though it was like 30-something years later.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I've seen him as, you know, Y2J. I've seen him as Le Champion. I've seen him, you know, like almost every form. And that sounds so weird, but it's like, you know, if he can reinvent himself so many ways, and it's like, you know, how can you not? And everybody pops for it. Either it's a good pop or a bad pop. You're still getting a reaction, and that's what it's all about, is a reaction.
Absolutely. Last question. Favorite version of Jericho? Do you have one?
To be honest, it's not even wrestling. It's his Fozzy.
Right.
It's when he comes out and he's on stage, he's not doing wrestling. He's just himself. He's doing something that he enjoys. Yeah, he enjoys wrestling,
right.
But he's putting on a show then, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But Jericho, like as in Fozzy, yeah, he's putting on a show, but that's his true self. He's showing his true self. You know, him and Rich Ward, you know, wrote all them songs almost, you know, and it's like, you know, is he trying to tell us like, hey, this is my life, you know, and you know, I follow him on everything. So I would actually say Fozzy Chris Jericho.
Wow, that's a shocker.
I wouldn't have a tattoo on my leg of Fozzy if I didn't like it.
That's right, I forgot about that. All right, any last words for you guys? Anything you want to say to close this one out?
Stay watching Battle on the Border Wrestling. Things are going to happen. Don't miss it.
Great stuff.
New champions will be crowned.
Yeah, August. I believe the next show is August 31st.
August 31st.
At Slapjacks.
At Slapjacks in Middletown. Very excited about that. One of my favorite shows.
Get your Rick Tom shirt from Slapjack.
I wish I had mine on me. I did get one. Well, when you guys see the full review for this, I'll be wearing the Rick Tom shirt. So you'll see it there. All right, that's it for us. Next time you see us, it'll be a full review. Thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely.
We'll have to do it
Thank you.
again.
Thank
Do
you.
it again.
Yes, sir.
You can't shake hands.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We will see
appreciate
you guys on the next one.